Hi folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. Recently I've talked a bit about how trout fishing has become more of an option this time of the year, especially after the extraordinarily hot summers we've had, and the fact that these fish do remain in some of these streams and offer good fishing in the fall. But a lot of times when we think of trout fishing, we think of fishing with a fly rod. And I'll tell you what, it's a total different sport than using a spinning rod and reel or a bait caster. It really is different. A lot of people love fly fishing, and there's reasons. It's very artistic. I think it's the closest bond you have with the natural area that you're fishing. Somehow it's almost prehistoric in some ways. And when a river runs through it, the movie came out, so many people in the country took up fly fishing because it had this artistic appeal. And in my mind, I know that I really enjoy fly fishing, maybe more than any other kind of fishing for the very reasons I'm telling you. But a lot of my friends have taken it up, and it's not for them. They tell me, they don't enjoy it as much because it is really different. And I'd like to sort of explore this over the next few months as we sort of get ready for a new season in 2026. The different things that are part of it that make it so special and that make it so different. I've got a couple people in this area that are really ardent and extraordinarily skillful and educated fly fishermen. One is Aaron Hardy in Meissner, and another one is my buddy Tim that built so many rods for me back when I was doing streamside. And I want to really pick their brains and try to pass it on to you. In fact, I want to sort of set up private interview times where they can appear on the radio with me, because I think there would be some of you out there that would really enjoy it. We've got such wonderful places here. And I remember for me as a kid, growing up on the Genesee River in Wellsville, New York, and going out fishing all the time, I had a fly rod. And that fly rod it becomes like an extension of your arm. It's different than in bait casting or spin fishing. It really is different. You can feel everything through that fly rod, and it almost becomes your best friend. I know that's how I felt about my shotgun when I was a kid. That was an extension of me. And the fly rod is kind of the same thing, more so than the fly reel. The fly reel is just a holder, in my mind, of your line. Now, they make some wonderfully precision-made fly reels that really do play a role if you're catching really big fish. But the fly rod is what sends power into the cast and allows that line to lay out there on the water. And you need something that you really feel at home with. That it just like I said, it becomes an extension of your hands and your arm. You can feel every little thing in there, and so that's a big part of what fly fishing is to me. And I think you feel more with the water. But these are just a lot of words I'm telling you. It's hard to explain until you're really out there and sort of learning it from yourselves. But I do want to talk more about this in the years to come, because I think it could be a big part of our fishing up here. We have everything up here, including some great streams for fly fishing. And I thought of putting together some kind of guide of the different rivers for a new fly fisherman to be able to explore this area. Rivers like the Salmon River that runs through Malone, and the Chateauguay River, and the St. Regis River, and the Grass River. We talk about the wonderful trout, the wonderful bass and muskie fishing in the Grass River. But that and the St. Regis River both have really, really good trout fishing in the upper regions, where you have more cold water than the warm water, slower water areas that we have right here in the St. Lawrence River Valley. So be prepared for this as the years go on. I'm going to try to amass more knowledge for you about trout fishing. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.